In today's video, we will talk about an overview of how American law works. Hello, and welcome to Ask Professor Price. I have been a lawyer for more than 35 years and a full-time professor for more than 10 years. People studying law or criminal justice or working in the legal or law enforcement fields need to know the difference between criminal and civil law, what stare decisis or precedent means, and the sources of American law. The sources of American law are constitutions, statutes, administrative regulations, and judge-made law, also called case law or common law. Let's jump right into an overview of how American law works. There is civil law, like contracts, personal injury, other torts, and domestic relations, and property disputes. And there's criminal law, usually falls into the categories of felonies, misdemeanors, or other violations of the law. Precedent, also called stare decisis, literally means let the decision stand. Basically, our courts follow previous court decisions when there are similar facts in the case. By following previous court decisions, the system promotes fairness and consistency in judicial decision-making. It's a cautious approach to problem solving. Courts need to know how cases were interpreted, as well as their location. The location is important because how a case gets interpreted in Texas might be very different from how it is interpreted in New Hampshire. They have different statutes, so it would not be appropriate necessarily to rule in a lawsuit in one case the way that a judge decided a case in another state. We talked briefly about the sources of American law. The constitutions are the fundamental rules that dictate how people will be governed. They establish guidelines or rules for creating government. They establish principles and general laws of a nation or of a state, because you can have a state constitution and a national constitution. And they define the powers each branch of government may exercise. In addition to constitutions, sources of law include statutes, administrative regulations, and judge-made law. Today we're doing a brief overview of American law. We're not going to go into great depth on any of these topics, but we want to introduce the American legal system in this video. Please hit subscribe and the thumbs up icon if you're enjoying this video. Also, please feel free to share this video with people you think could benefit from the information. YouTube uses the number of subscribers, likes, and shares in its algorithm to determine which videos show up in the search results. The higher these videos are in the results, the more people I can help. Thank you. So let's talk some more about statutes and administrative regulations. Statutes are rules that are enacted by state or federal legislatures, and they are the product of the legislative process. So when you have a state statute, if you're wondering where that came from, it was written by the people who got elected to represent the citizens of that state or that region in the state or federal legislature. Local government rules are often called municipal ordinances. They're created in a very similar way to state and federal laws, statutes, in that the people who are elected to serve on city council, county council, or whatever they call the version of those local government bodies, those people you elect write, on the local level, they write what are called municipal ordinances or county regulations or ordinances. Also, there are administrative regulations. Now, administrative agencies like the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, or state boards like the State Board of Medicine, the State Health Department. Agencies are, you know how we have separation of powers in that there's an executive branch, a legislative branch, and a judicial branch of government. That's at the state level and the federal level. Administrative agencies don't follow that rule. They actually get to serve all three roles in one. So using the IRS for an example, since they are a federal administrative agency, they are involved in creating the Internal Revenue Code with, of course, the Senate and the House. So they are involved in making the rules, acting on the rules, interpreting the rules, and enforcing the rules. The regulations that administrative agencies create work the same way that a state or federal statute works. They also can get interpreted and enforced by the courts as well as by the administrative agency. In addition, things like zoning boards on the municipal level or the county level, that's another example of an administrative agency. And finally, we have judge-made law. Judge-made law, a lot of people misunderstand what this is. It's not that judges get to make statutes, that they get to create rules. They don't. When they interpret the law and apply it to cases, those court decisions become law. They are a source of the law. They get cited as precedent in later cases. So judge-made law, also called case law, and sometimes called common law, is another source of law in the American court system and the American legal system. So a quick recap is that we have civil law and criminal law. Precedent, also called stare decisis, translated literally means let the decision stand. And how a precedent or stare decisis works is following previous court decisions from a similar jurisdiction and with similar facts. And the sources of American law are constitutions, statutes, administrative regulations, and judge-made law. Please feel free to post in the comments your questions about criminal law or related topics that you would like to see covered in a future video. I cannot provide legal advice about specific cases or situations, but I can offer general legal information for educational purposes. Law students, paralegal students, criminal justice students, and pre-law students, as well as people working as paralegals or in the criminal justice field, are the main audience for these videos, but everyone is welcome to learn about American law and our legal system. Please remember to subscribe so you can get notifications when I post a new video. Subscribing won't cost you anything, but it can help me reach and help more people with these educational videos. Thank you. If you like this video, you might like the next video called The American Adversarial Legal System in Criminal Cases.